Welcome to the An English Coffee Office. Today is Tuesday, July 22, and like every morning, David and Alex are at the coffee machine.
Hey Alex, how's it going? Grabbed your caffeine fix yet?
Hey David, doing all right? Just waiting for this brew to kick in. How about you surviving the morning rush?
Barely, man, barely. Sales calls are already stacking up like crazy, but this coffee's my lifeline right now.
I hear you. A good cup is the only way to power through project deadlines and endless meetings.
Speaking of powering through, did you catch that news about the US inflation bump last week? I think it was on CNN, something about prices spiking again with those tariffs.
Yeah, I saw that. They said inflation heated up in June to 2.7%, and tariffs are starting to hit harder on stuff like appliances and clothing.
Man, that's gonna mess with my sales pitches big time. Clients are already griping about costs, and now I gotta explain why everything's suddenly pricier.
It's a real ripple effect. Higher costs could slow down project budgets too, especially if supply chains keep getting squeezed.
Oh, don't remind me. I'm just hoping I don't have to start slashing prices left and right just to close a single deal.
It might push companies to rethink sourcing strategies. Have you noticed any clients shifting to local suppliers to dodge the tariff hit?
Not yet, but I bet they will soon. It's like playing whack-a-mole with these price hikes popping up everywhere.
True. It's a challenge to plan around. We'll need to keep a close eye on how this unfolds over the next few months.
For sure. I'm already brainstorming ways to spin this to clients without them freaking out.
Good idea. Maybe focus on value adds in your pitch to offset the cost concerns?
Yeah, I might throw in some extra perks or bundle deals. Gotta keep them hooked somehow.
That could work. On my end, I'm trying to lock in vendor contracts early to avoid surprises down the road.
Smart move. I might need to sweet talk some suppliers into fixed rates before they jack up prices again.
Definitely worth a shot. Building those relationships now could save a lot of headaches later.
100%. Hey, on a different note, did you see that piece about retail sales jumping last month? I think CNN had it too, saying Americans are still spending despite the tariffs.
Yeah, I read that. Retail sales beat expectations in June, which is surprising given the economic squeeze from inflation.
Right? I mean, people are still shelling out cash, which is awesome for my numbers, but I'm like, where's all this money coming from?
It's interesting, isn't it? It could be a sign of consumer confidence, or maybe just pent-up demand after a slow period.
Could be. I'm just glad it means more folks buying what I'm selling, even if I gotta hustle harder to keep up.
It's a mixed bag for project planning, though. Strong sales are great, but if inflation keeps climbing, that spending might not last long.
Yeah, let's hope it holds up. I don't want to be stuck with inventory nobody can afford in a couple of months.
Agreed. We'll need to stay flexible with forecasts and timelines on our end to adapt to any shifts.
Totally. I'm thinking of pushing some bigger ticket items now while people are still in a spending mood.
That's a solid plan. Just make sure the value proposition is crystal clear. Folks are still cautious, even if they're opening their wallets.
Got it. I'll spin it as a treat yourself kind of deal. Gotta make them feel good about splashing the cash, you know?
Perception is half the battle in sales and project buy-in. A positive spin can make all the difference.
Ain't that the truth? I'll just keep the charm dialed up to 11 and hope for the best.
I'm sure that'll work. Your energy always seems to win people over.
Gotta use what I've got. Switching gears though, did you hear about that crazy story with President Trump filing a libel lawsuit? Saw it on CNN. Something about a report on birthday letters or whatever.
Oh yeah, I caught that. It's over a Wall Street Journal piece about Jeffrey Epstein's birthday letters from 2003. And Trump's not happy about it at all.
Man, talk about drama. I'm just picturing the headlines blowing up while I'm trying to close a deal on the phone with a client.
It's quite the spectacle. It makes you wonder how much of this is about reputation versus distraction from other issues on the table?
For real. I'm like, can we just focus on something that doesn't sound like a soap opera for once?
True. But it does show how media and politics are so intertwined these days, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. I just hope it doesn't tank my client's mood when they're scrolling the news instead of signing contracts.
That's a valid concern. Public sentiment can shift fast with stories like this, even if they don't directly impact business.
Yeah. I'll just keep cracking jokes to lighten the mood. Gotta keep those deals moving no matter the circus in the background.
Good strategy. A little humor can go a long way in cutting through the noise of all this drama.
Speaking of noise, I'm still wrapping my head around that inflation thing. Do you think it's gonna get worse before it gets any better?
Hard to say, but if tariffs keep piling up, it's likely. We might see more policy tweaks to cool things down, but that takes time.
Great! More curveballs for me to dodge. I'm already juggling enough with quotas and cranky clients as it is.
I know the feeling. On the project side, we're trying to build buffers into budgets to account for unexpected cost jumps.
Man, you project folks think of everything. I might need to borrow some of that foresight for my sales targets.
It's just about minimizing risks. You've got your own knack for reading the room with clients, though.
True. I can usually talk my way out of a tight spot. Still, these price hikes are testing my charm to the limit.
I bet. Maybe lean on data in your pitches. Show clients the bigger picture behind the costs.
Not a bad idea. Numbers don't lie, even if they're a pain to explain sometimes.
Exactly. A little transparency can build trust, even in tough conversations.
Gotcha. Hey, about that retail sales spike, you think it's a fluke or a real trend we can bank on?
I'm leaning toward a trend, at least short term. People seem to be spending on essentials and small luxuries despite the pinch.
Interesting. Maybe I should push some of our pricier packages while the iron's hot, before wallets snap shut.
Could work. Just balance it with some entry-level offers too. Give options for the more cautious spenders.
Good call. I'll mix it up. Keep a little something for everyone in the pipeline.
That's a smart approach. Flexibility is key when consumer behavior is this unpredictable.
For sure. And with that lawsuit drama, you think it'll blow over quick or drag on forever in the news?
Probably drag on. Legal battles like that rarely wrap up fast. It'll likely stay in the background of news cycles for a while.
Ah, just what we need, more tabloid fodder. I'm gonna have to dodge client rants about politics again during calls.
I bet. Maybe just steer convos back to business? Keep the focus on what you can control.
Yeah, I'll just hit them with my charm and some killer offers. Keep their minds off the circus and on the dotted line.
That's the spirit. A little redirection can work wonders in keeping things on track.
You know it. Man, these coffee breaks are the best. Keeps me sane with all this news flying around.
Same here. It's nice to bounce ideas and just vent a bit before diving back into the grind.
Totally. I always feel like I've got a game plan after chatting with you over a cup.
Glad to help. It's a good reset for me too before tackling the next project hurdle.
All right. I guess we better get back to the hustle before the boss starts side-eyeing us from across the room.
Yeah, let's do this. Catch you at the next coffee run.
You bet. Let's crush it out there today.
Time to get to work. Don't forget to subscribe and practice your English every day. You'll see how it just keeps getting better and better. See you tomorrow. Hope you have a fantastic day.